it was a good race. Another Charles DNF. Crazy.
That sucks, dude. He gets pole every single time.
It's not even his fault, too. That's crazy. And then, George finished third. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw the, how they finished. And then I saw that,
We're live.
Leclerc and literally Sainz didn't finish. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no way.
Yeah, you texted me, so I figured some crazy shit was going to happen. And, but I had already seen, I opened up Twitter for like a second, and that was, of course, the first thing that I saw, Charles DNF, and I just closed out right away. So I knew that he was going to DNF, but I didn't know that Carlos was also going to be out. And he went out early, too, because Charles was still 15 laps ago.
No.
Or, Charles, and then
he was leading, right?
Charles was leading, yeah.
Fuck. That sucks.
Hi, viewers. That was a good race. Next week is in Canada, so thankfully that'll be a nicely timed race. I don't know what time it is, but
Like,
it'll be
not this weekend.
no, this weekend.
Oh, is it back-to-back weeks?
Yeah,
Oh.
I don't know why. It's literally across the world, but yeah, they're doing this week. It should be like a 2 p.m. race, I think.
Crazy.
Why it looks so red?
Yeah, it's gonna be at 1 p.m. this Sunday.
Oh. Yeah, probably not.
You look ready, you said?
Red.
And I see.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's do this thing.
I don't have nothing.
I'm gonna try and keep an eye on the chat more.
Yeah, I can also take a look. I usually just have it on the back as well.
How does this happen? Apologies.
Apologize if I say anything I don't mean.
Anything I don't mean.
I don't know how this happens, but whatever. Oh, I feel good. All right. We're live, and we're going to start recording.
W.
Let me make sure that there it is going into the sound system. Let me just do a double check. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Test.
W guys.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Test.
W guys.
Okay, here we go. I don't know why that. How does that happen? I don't know, but I want to turn it towards me. That's impossible. Okay, that's better. Kind of. All right, here we go.
Down by the lake.
Here we go.
This is the rhythm of the night. The night. Oh yeah. The rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of my life. My life. Oh yeah. The rhythm of my life.
You are now listening to the Fielder's Choice podcast. I don't think I've ever listened to this song during this part.
I was just gonna say I've only ever heard the main chorus part. I've never heard it from the beginning.
Today is Monday, June 13th. This is a Chicago baseball podcast. We talk about the Cubs and we talk about the White Sox. This is episode 186. We're inching closer to episode 200.
Ooh, damn.
Hopefully when we hit the second century mark, there isn't another pandemic.
Yeah, I'm gonna knock on wood.
Remember that?
Yeah.
That's actually trash, by the way.
Our
That's insane.
100th episode is when shit went down.
That's
Oh, yeah.
actually insane.
Remember that?
I do.
I still remember the episode we did. Was it 100 when Mark was here?
No, it was the one before 100.
I remember just that was when stuff was kind of starting to hit.
And we were like talking smack.
Yeah, we were like, nah, there's no way. And then I think Joey was here for episode 100.
Oh, that's right, he was.
And then we like watched right before I left. Trump was announcing all the stuff that was happening, and the NBA was closing down. Crazy.
Yeah, we're gonna knock on wood and keep that away from us. Keep that energy away from us.
We got plenty of wood to knock on.
We do actually have a lot of wood. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for hitting play on your respective podcast app. However, if you're not a podcast guy, I don't know how you're listening to this, but you could also tune in live. We're live right now on YouTube. Shout out the chat. Frankie's in there already. He says,
Frankie.
hello.
Is your nose still stuffy, dude?
No, but I still have like
Go to
constant
What's going
phlegm,
on?
dude.
I didn't
don't know.
mean it. I wouldn't have meant it in a mean way, so I didn't want it to come off wrong, so I didn't say anything. But I was
Yeah.
gonna say you still sound like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
no,
good.
I'm not talking shit. I'm just
No, yeah,
curious
no.
at this point.
No, I'm like 2 weeks in already, but
Yeah.
I feel better, which is I
Okay,
think
yeah.
important.
Very.
But yeah, and you know what it is now is allergies.
Yeah, those.
Like it's not even sick anymore. I'm just like constantly freaking the whole day.
Yeah.
yeah.
How do we get rid of that?
Do you take any like? allergy
Yeah,
pills?
do
No,
like
okay.
what is it called, Allegra? I feel like it
Yeah.
does nothing at a certain point.
Yeah.
This weekend was a death trap.
Yeah,
Like the whole weekend I was out, you can literally see the pollen floating and just flying around. I was like, damn.
what as a society can we do to get rid of allergies?
Get rid of trees.
They have shots. Shout out Scumpy,
Get
the
the fuck
the
outta
pro COD
Really?
player. You take like it's like a series of shots. It's like 2 or 3 shots.
Mm.
And then you don't have allergies, but you have to redo them again the next year.
Oh,
Nah, they're just trying to control you, dude. They're trying
Dang,
to
you're
watch-
anti-vax,
They're
bitch.
trying to watch it.
Damn.
Every move they're watching with a shot.
Wow.
Somehow.
microchip in there.
Yeah.
But he said it works, so he does it.
Okay.
He's done it for like the past 2 years now.
That's the same thing as taking a pill, just less time, less frequency.
we
Yeah, it's like a one-time thing,
Okay,
and
that's
then
not
you're
bad.
good for the rest of the year.
Damn, all right, that's not bad.
we should try all of the allergy pills and remedies and see which one works best
And rate them.
for the podcast.
Rate them
A blind test, see which one
Instead-
actually
yeah.
works.
instead of
Coke
rating,
Pepsi challenge or whatever
Yeah.
that was.
or instead of doing pizza reviews, we do allergy medicine reviews.
One bite, everybody knows the rule. Just a little nibble.
Una tacha.
What the hell is that?
The Mexican
Oh, it is.
slang for like a drug.
And
I never heard that.
Did you? What is it called? Something tres. It's like the medicine over there.
Oh, I don't know.
It's like it's like they have like a omega tres or something like that. Shout out Mexico.
B12.
Bad.
Nah, that's just vitamins, brother.
I know. Holgazan. Have you, you guys are... No, you guys
Shout out Mexico.
Shout out
very
Mexico.
Big shout out.
It's gonna be a slow. Slow news week. There's really not much going on. I'm kidding. There's
Tons.
like 19 White Sox stories.
This is wild.
Wild. Not a single one of them good. By the way.
What's happening today in this world?
Love that.
Yeah. But so let's get into it. But before we do, I have a question for you guys. What is tickling your fancy?
What tickle my fancy, fat man?
Does anybody have one?
I do.
Okay.
Joe Madden got released.
Oh, that is so funny.
That is so good.
That is
That's
so
good. I'm not even going to tell it. That's how good it is. Joe Madden got let go by the Anaheim Angels of
Yeah.
Los Angeles,
Did you say
California.
released, by the way?
Yeah, I did say released. He got let go.
He
He got fired.
He got
He
DFA'd.
got DFA'd. And news came out after all that happened, probably like a couple days after, that he allegedly, because I haven't seen him, but allegedly he got a haircut. He cut his hair into a mohawk to rile up the troops. Typical Joe Madden. You know, we saw it here in Chicago where he did the magician and the zoo at the park and whatnot.
What?
This time, you know, running out of ideas, obviously, he got a mohawk. The funny part is that he got fired before anybody ever saw that mohawk in his team. So he never actually got to rile up the troops.
He
with
went
his
to the
mohawk.
meeting in which he got fired with a mohawk.
No, dude.
Dude,
I feel bad. I legitimately feel bad.
that is Michael Scott. that happens
Yeah.
in the office. Michael Scott gets fired, and he has a mohawk to
Actually, did happen in the office, but it was Jim Halpert. Remember, he wears like a tuxedo,
Yeah.
and the new boss comes in.
yeah.
It's those that same energy.
What a story. That one I laughed out loud. I was like, what? That was funny, dude.
Damn.
Reading
it
it was
legitimately made me feel bad. I didn't even gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
I laughed. That is
That's gold.
that's carcajada, as they say in Spanish.
Yeah.
A lot of Spanish in this podcast. Man, that's funny, dude. That he got the mohawk. He's probably all giddy.
Yeah.
To say what's up to the guys,
Yeah, what's up, guys?
and they called him into the office. He probably didn't know, right?
He might have
Nah.
colored it. I wouldn't put it like a red, like an angel's red.
I don't know why, but that made me feel bad when I saw that story.
Because-
Obviously, like at face value, it's hilarious.
Very.
But the deeper you dig in, it's sad.
I don't know. I don't know if it's sad. He's getting paid still. It's not
Yeah, he's a
like-
millionaire.
Yeah.
True. In that sense,
Yeah.
he's decent.
Oscar, you got something?
Yeah, mine is tickling my fancy is a shout out. Shout out to my cousin Armando. We had a family party Saturday.
Yeah.
And he listens to the pod.
Let's
W.
go.
He-
Shout out Armando.
He's a junior, about to be a senior in college. So he said that he walks around campus, or the way he started listening to us was because he would walk around campus with the Sox hat, and then one of his classmates or something was like, "Oh, you watch baseball?" And he doesn't really watch baseball, so he says he tunes in and watches the videos, watches the YouTube videos. He said he'll have it on in the background. And
No shot.
yeah, and I was like, "Oh damn, shout out Armando."
Right.
Gotta do my eyebrows.
Is he hot?
That would be incest, so I have no comment. We're a handsome family. What can I say?
There you go.
There
All
you
right.
go. Good answer. Good answer. Good
Good
answer.
answer.
Good answer. So shout out Armando. That's my fancy.
Tickling my fancy. What did I have? Oh, actually, I have some audio for you guys. See if I can find it. See how fast I can find it. But it is tickling my fancy is John Sterling, who is the radio guy for the New York Yankees, who on occasion has some very funny calls, and he did it again. He didn't do what he's famous for, which is calling a home run when it's not a home run.
Wait, is he the guy that has like little puns for every guy that hits a home run?
Yes. This is what is that me?
That me.
Oh.
Damn. What the? Sorry.
W song.
I want to
Great song. So there's a home run, and he says, "Deep left field, right field."
And the pitch swung on. There it goes. Deep left field, right field. It is high. It is far. It is gone. It's a 3-run home run away back.
Deep left field, right field.
Yeah. The left field, right field, every field.
He got to do it on purpose. He has
I
too
don't
many
think so.
of these.
I don't
There's
think so.
way too many of these that happen like every other week for him.
He's old.
Damn. So you're saying that maybe old people who aren't qualified for certain positions should maybe just step out of the game? That's crazy because I agree.
You know what's funny about that?
What is it?
I mean, obviously that's funny, but he was on the Score 2 days ago, Friday. I forget what day it was. He was on the Parkinson Speaks show, and they were interviewing, and he's a legend or whatever.
Yeah.
Sterling?
And yeah,
What? On
Yeah.
the score?
yeah.
Oh, that's
They
pretty
had him
cool.
on there, and Perkins asked him if he could please, record a promo for them, like, oh, you're tuning in to.
Oh, okay.
The or whatever. He's like known for saying the very pronounced. And he got Spiegel's name wrong.
Oh,
and everybody
no.
was cracking up because he did it post interview because he didn't want to do it live. He wanted to be a pro about it or whatever. Old guy shit, right?
Yeah.
And they recorded it, and it was Tannehill, I believe, the producer there, who's awesome. And they finally, they got off there or whatever. They went to commercial, and they came back and like, all right, he has it. He's like, there's something off about it, but I did my best. So he did, he's reading off the promo, and he's like, oh, you're tuning in to the Parkins and Stiegel show, and the Spiegs was fucking bombed, dude. 'Cause
Oh, that sucks.
Spiegel is like a big baseball guy,
And he's a
Perkins-
big like broadcast like nerd. Like he knows a lot about like broadcasters and stuff.
So he was like, "Oh no!" He was like super bummed about it. It was
That
fucking
is-
fun. Everybody was just like laughing their asses off.
it's a pretty big bummer actually.
Yeah.
On this tweet where I found this video, probably my favorite Yankees Twitter follow is Playoff Tanaka.
Yeah.
And he has a funny. The reply to this tweet is, "I am once again asking the public to stop picking on an 83-year-old man." 83 is pretty old
Yeah.
for him to be doing that. All right. The Cubs haven't played in like 4 days.
Dude, what the hell? Like, for real, like, that was mollywomp.
Yeah, see,
weekend.
this is why, and I know you're going to put it on a different scale, but we have to look at it on the same scale.
Uh-huh.
And this is what I thought of after that, the weekend series the Cubs had with the Yankees. This is why I don't think the White Sox got manhandled by the Astros in the playoffs. Because that was manhandled.
Of course, right? Yeah. Yeah. For
There's
sure.
different degrees. I get it.
Of course, yeah.
But that's why
You guys got playoff manhandled, which is a different.
I don't even know if that's true. Because remember the Reds and Braves, like, whatever, 3 years ago it was? 4 years? I forget what it was. But it was like 12-2 in the second inning. Like, that's manhandled.
Okay, yeah,
I
for
also
sure,
don't agree because if you just look at the score, like game 1, we lost by like 5 runs, but
Yeah.
it was literally a close game to like the 8th, up until Leury Garcia
Yeah,
botched the ball
yeah.
in right field.
Yeah, definitely nowhere near what the hell happened to the Cubs over the weekend, for sure, right? But yeah, the Cubs, wow, impressively bad over the weekend. And honestly, this is the type of season I thought the Cubs were going to have. These type of fucking, like, because besides this series, I feel like the Cubs have been in almost all the series, you know, even though they've lost literally 6 in a row and they lose most of the series, they're typically very close. Man, no, but this one was like the Yankees are in another universe when
Well,
it comes to like the Cubs and them.
The Friday game was close. They went to like the 13th inning.
Yeah, and they kept the Yankees to 2 runs, which was enough for them to beat the Cubs at 2-1. And I even tweeted about it. I was like, you know, keeping the Yankees to 1 run in 9 innings, that's a W right there, because what the hell, like, that team is all around great, and especially the way they're playing now. And then sure enough, you know, you proceeded to get your ass kicked the following 2 games. Actually, the second game also went to the extra innings.
Did it really?
Yeah,
Wow.
back to back.
There was wait, how did the scores end up so lopsided? Or was it just a one game?
The third game was like an 18-4 game. That one was trash.
Yeah.
But I might be wrong. But
Yeah,
I'm
game
pretty-
2 was 0-8. It did not go extras.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You know, the second game was the one where, and I didn't see this until it got like screenshotted on the Twitter account, baseball images that precede unfortunate events,
Yeah.
where they screenshot a tweet from the Cubs where they said Yankees fans think everything's a home run, and then the Yankees went on to hit 6 home runs in that game.
All solo.
Wow.
I have a take on that tweet. That was a W tweet because they got traction up the dick for a team that has nothing to play for.
Yeah.
That was W. Yeah, the eyes were on the Cubs. But I don't
If
know.
you're looking for just interactions, W.
Yeah.
Whoever's running that account accomplished what they were trying to do.
Yeah, I say this. Well, that was my take on the White, and this one isn't even from the official White Sox, but it's from the NBC Sports White Sox.
See,
when they
no,
were like,
I think I'm going to disagree with you guys here, because you're trying to get engagement, right? You're trying to get, you know, your tweet seen by a lot of eyes. But the thing where Oscar was about to say was the White Sox talk from Comcast. They do their own little Twitter page. They tweeted
the Will Smith waiting for the rest of the division to show up.
they tweeted that meme, and then they just got clowned by White Sox fans before the season even started.
Yeah.
Right. So then they deleted it.
Oh no!
Oh, it's deleted?
I'm pretty sure it is, because all I see of it is just screenshots of it.
I don't know. I didn't know that it had been deleted.
Because all I've seen of
You can't
that,
delete. You can't.
If it's deleted, then it's an L.
right?
you can't delete. Period.
Yeah. Fact check that. The Cubs. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I think it is a. I don't know if it's a W or an L, because a W in terms of like it went viral, but did you want to go like that viral? Not that amount, but like in that
Right.
way.
For sure, no. I actually found it very amusing that like Yankees fans were so pressed about it.
The
Right.
Yankees
They were
fans
like,
stay
oh my God,
pressed, dude.
We gotta talk about
They were
that.
like, oh,
I-
what the fuck? Like, dude, it's the Cubs, dude. What the fuck are you guys talking about? You guys are like up in your division by like fucking 10 games and shit.
Is this? I mean, it's hard to say this definitively just because we don't follow the 29 other fan base or 28 other fan bases, but from my limited experience, it seems like Yankee fans are the most sensitive fans.
Yeah.
I borderline don't like the talking baseball guys anymore. After the series with the White Sox, they took a big SL in my book.
Because I feel like even the John Boy guys, even though they're like super cool dudes on the surface, I feel like they even don't go in like down those paths with the Yankees. You know, it's very serious when it comes. Like they'll clown any other fucking team.
Yeah.
But with John, they never like clown or like like make a little silly tweet about the Yankees. I feel like.
Yeah. They can dish it, but I don't know if they can take it.
They somewhat talk smack on their own team, like they were very down in the dumps after last year. But
they don't like poke fun. They're critical, but they don't poke fun.
And they just don't like the White Sox for whatever reason.
They
I know
really
John Boy doesn't. I don't know. Whatever. They're scared. Pray for the league.
And because of that, I think that was very on purpose. Like, whoever did that knew that Yankees fans were going to be. Granted, they fucking went ahead and hit like 30 home runs in the whole series after that. So you deserve everything, all the quote tweets that you get after that. But I think that's what they were aiming for, and they got it. And I saw a lot of Yankees fans like really upset about it.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is funny.
Why are they like that?
I don't know.
I guess they're so on guard about being like
Bad because they're the Yankees, right?
because they're the Yankees, and everyone loves to hate them. So I don't know. I can't put my glasses on because they keep getting fogged up. I don't know what's going on. All right, where were we? That was the Cubs, right?
Yeah. Keegan didn't look good.
Dude.
2 starts in a row because he got pooped on. Granted, it was a rainy game in Baltimore, and he just wasn't locating his curveball, and they were just teeing off of his like 93-mile-an-hour fastball that doesn't move. But yeah, that was 2 straight starts by Keegan that didn't go past like the 3rd inning, which is not good.
So, as a proud Keegan Thompson owner in fantasy baseball, I had a closer eye on this, and I tweeted that he kind of asking if he kind of stinks.
He has for sure.
And you just laughed at me.
Because that was funny.
It's not funny.
Oh, not to you because you're playing right.
I was a -10 that day.
That's not good.
That's not good at all.
That's not good.
It was like 2 to 3rd innings pitched.
Yeah, no, he didn't get past the 3rd. I didn't watch any of the games this weekend. I was kind of busy.
Gotcha.
But I kept on it on my phone, and as soon as like I saw that where it was heading, I was like, all right, I'm out. I don't need to watch this or keep up with it.
Lucky.
But yeah, obviously it's not great especially with those guys that are on the fringe and guys that you think are probably going to be part of the next winning team. But it's a long, this is where like the long season, the up and downs come in. Dude, fucking Mike Trout, obviously he's not a pitcher, but Mike Trout was like on a no-for, like 0 for 26 last week or something.
Mm-hmm.
The best are going to struggle, and there is the bounce back. It's all it is. And I heard many reliable and baseball people say it. It's how you bounce back and adjust, and that is the game of baseball. So hopefully Keegan figures it out, and not only Keegan, but like Swarmer got fucking shelled in the last game, and I saw this on Cubs Twitter. A lot of people were very frustrated with Ross over the weekend. I mean, the first time I've seen this since Ross has been manager, for him leaving out guys for no reason. Like, for example, Keegan was left out for a while, and Swarmer got left out to dry. But then again, if you're Ross, you're like, what am I going to do? Like, keep burning bullpen guys?
Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's a give and a take. I wouldn't like to see those young guys just be left out there and getting shelled. Not for, like, statistical reasons, but more like confidence and what does that say? I heard it on the radio where they were talking about, like, if you're like another, if you're Killian, for example, who's not in the major league club right now for whatever reason.
He got sent back down.
Yeah. If you're Killian and you're seeing, like, these guys be left out, like, what the fuck do you even think to yourself? It's like, you got to get a little bit more nervous, more like insecure about maybe missing on a pitch, and then you start pressing, and that's what you don't want, especially for pitchers to like start going up there and trying to like pinpoint pitches and shit, because that's typically when you start walking guys and missing more than you really want to. not a good showing, definitely by Ross. Another thing I did see in Cubs Twitter that they were very upset about, and I completely understand, is the DFA of Frazier.
That is interesting.
And not Hayward, because obviously Hayward is not good. He hasn't been good for many, many years now. And it's a guy that he's going to be a free agent after next year, I believe. A guy that Cubs Nation has been wanting to get released for,
A long time.
again, like 3-4 years now. And you let go of a younger guy who, high draft pick guy who didn't work in New York but was given a second chance with the Cubs. And a guy that you rather see what he could, give you instead of Hayward, because you know what Hayward is. So yeah, that was a little mind-boggling, and
That
I
was
did see-
surprising to me. You guys were excited about Clint Frazier.
I
And
was.
and for the Cubs to just cut him, that's surprising.
A day after he was kind of talking smack or chirping the Yankees too. The
Yeah,
Yankees order.
and, right before the Yankees series, which has got to be brutal. That's just brutal.
That's brutal.
Yeah,
dude.
Yankees Twitter as well was also having a field day with that.
Was it? So, yeah. I mean, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand in the sense that
And
Suzuki's coming back and you don't have a spot for an outfielder, but it shouldn't be Frazier. It should be Hayward.
And the interesting thing to me is that it's not like he played all year and he just sucked.
No, he was actually hitting the ball a lot harder recently. Yeah, he got hurt early. He was down in the minors rehabbing for a long ass time. He actually just came back up not that long ago, and he just was never given a 100% complete shot at a starting position or enough plate appearances to prove himself.
I wonder if we're missing something. Because 19 games he played, 45 plate appearances. And in that small amount of time, he had a 95 WRC plus, which is obviously not great, but would it be like fourth best on the White Sox right now?
It
it's
all
weird.
It definitely. It all goes back to Ross and the Cubs wanting to keep Hayward for whatever reason. I don't know if it's like a, what is it? Like Hayward played with Ross, obviously, in the World Series team, and years,
Yeah.
after that. I don't know if that's like a weird like Ross thing that just
It shouldn't even matter.
It should not matter
Because-
for sure. No.
And not even in that sense, but also in the sense that it's not Ross's decision. It should be the general manager's
For sure.
decision, right?
For sure.
And it's his last year on the Cubs, right? Or is it?
I think it's one more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess that would be a lot of dead money.
Yeah, a lot of that. I mean, it's still. I mean, he's not gonna. He doesn't. Well, he's playing a lot more now, but he hasn't played a lot the year. I think they gave him like a phantom ass injury. I don't even know. But for a while, he wasn't even playing at all for like a good 2-week period stretch. Yeah, it's one of those weird fucking friend things that you just don't want to like DFA a guy that you spend time with. And again, that should not be the case, especially with the Cubs, because again, you're playing for the future. You're not playing for respect, or you're not playing for like fucking old dead money. And if that was the case, then why wouldn't you pay Rizzo and the guys? Not saying that they should have, but that's the argument. And it just doesn't sit well with the fans, because again, it's Hayward. It's that one fucking free agent signing that didn't work pretty much.
Yeah.
And it's just what it is. And I don't know. I don't think they're ever gonna DFA the guy. I don't think, to be honest.
No,
I mean, they would have done it.
maybe. No, the thing is, you have to swallow the pill of how much money are we going to pay this guy to not play for us.
Right.
And if you did it now, you're doing a year and a half, which is a lot.
It's like 35 mil.
So that's a lot.
But I just don't think that he should be playing anyways.
Yeah, but I think if it's next year, I think when it gets to next year and mid-season, then you're only losing. Then you're only paying, what is it, $15 million for him to not play.
Yeah.
That that's a little bit more palatable.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously the Cubs could afford it to DFA him and I guess play like a younger guy, whoever that may be, over him. But yeah, like Rick said, that's a lot of money to pay somebody to not play.
The Mets did it, right? And it was a shock to everyone. They DFA'd Robinson Cano, right?
Yeah.
And he was owed like $40 million or something. A lot.
A lot of money.
But even that was a shock.
Yeah.
And
so
it's fucking this guy's name. What's his name? The owner,
Steve Cohen.
Steve Cohen.
But no, it was a tough showing for the Sox. The Cubs over the weekend. Bad baseball all the way through, and we start a series against the very difficult and very good San Diego Padres today. I think it just got underway. Probably not going to win that series either, and then you play another difficult team. I forget who the fuck it is.
Cubs are actually winning right now, 1-0. That'd be the third.
Interesting. But yeah, it's a tough stretch for the Cubs. They play they start a series against the Padres, and then they have a series against Atlanta, and then the next weekend it's a Cardinals weekend again. So the Cubs are going to finish bottom of the league, worst 5, I think, record-wise. Better chances at a draft pick, spin zone. Other than that, there's nothing to be, happy about at all. And it's funny because Rizzo was quoted over the weekend. Obviously it's Cubs, Yankees. So a bunch of reporters interviewed Rizzo about the state of the Cubs, I guess, which I don't even understand why that's even a thing anymore. But whatever.
Well, what do you mean?
Like, dude, it's been like 2 years.
Yeah, but he's Rizzo. You know this.
Yeah, but I just don't get like what the like.
Why are you asking him?
Yeah,
or
why his opinion even matters. Like, the dude got a fucking contract. He turned it down for more money.
But they asked him for the status, no? Like where the team is
yeah,
at now.
And he went on to say like, obviously every big market should pay their players, yada yada yada. Duh, right?
Right.
I don't think he's preaching to the choir here.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get why like he's clearly still upset, very upset about how he was done with the Cubs.
Mm-hmm.
But again, like the dude got a fucking contract. He just didn't want it. He wanted more. And, great, he didn't get it, but I understand like his logic. I don't think teams should be paying for past performances.
No.
That's dumb. That's stupid.
And
the Cubs, with all the guys that got let go, gave him, I feel like, a very fair market value contract. And they all turned it down, and all power to them. Bet on yourself, 100%. But this is the other side of the coin.
Yeah. And I think this goes back to, I forgot what conversation we had because it was fresh in our minds back when it happened. But remember when we talked about, like, there must have been something that pissed off these core guys. And we felt at the time that it was like a possibility that they were like, no matter what they offer us, we got to stick it to the man and we got to get out of here. And I forgot, like, because there was a lot of I felt like anger and angst among the fan base of the Cubs front office not adding to this core. And I think maybe that was felt also by the players, like Brian and Rizzo. Brizzo company, where they were like, why aren't they making this team better when we're here? Why are they going to wait for us to like get to free agency? And obviously we have no idea. This is 100% speculation, but it did feel weird for all of them to just say, screw you guys, we're out.
For sure. Yeah. It's funny because before the pandemic hit, it was alleged that Javi Baez was like very close to signing with the Cubs again, and it all fell apart because of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows if that's true or not? But I've read a bunch of reports about that, leading me to believe that it's actually true. I mean, if it actually, in my eyes, even at the time, maybe not so now, but at the time, if I was gonna keep one of them, it would have been Javi Baez, which thank God we didn't.
Yeah.
So I understand that. The other guys, I mean, yeah, it sucks because again they were part of the World Series team, but to ask the Cubs if you were asking me as a fan if I wanted the Cubs to like empty their fucking pockets for one of these guys, I would have said no. Not one of them. One, because Brian statistically was in a decline. He was hurt like every fucking year. And two, Rizzo was like a big Bob first baseman who you're not going to pay that money to.
And to your point, kind of shit the bed in the playoffs.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was quoted on the internet in one of the interviews. He was going off of he wishes that he would have gotten signed here and yada yada, and every big market should fucking pay their guys or whatever. I was like, yeah, dude, if you would have fucking played better, you would have gotten a bigger contract. There's a reason for that. It's because you kind of disappeared towards the end there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, again, this is all resurfacing because it was Yankees Cubs, and he was always going to get asked those questions. And typically, I feel like 2 years out, guys would have been like, we're all past that. Yeah, one of those vague ass answers. But no, he's still going in, leading me to believe that he's still somewhat very hurt about that.
Well, it's only been a year, no? He got traded last year.
Did he?
Yeah, it was last year.
It was last year? Okay.
Yeah, so it is still a little fresh, I guess, in that sense. But and then even then, he still sort of linked to the Cubs this offseason?
Sort of, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just tired about that whole storyline. Like, just drop it, dude.
Yeah.
We're in the fucking first year of a rebuild. Come
Well,
on.
they're probably like, I don't know. Well, I know next year it'll happen, right, with the Tigers when everybody plays everybody. But like Baez and Rizzo are probably gonna get asked the same exact question whenever it is that they come back.
And it's
or they
funny
play each
because I
other.
feel like everybody left on the good terms besides Rizzo.
Mm.
Like everybody just did, and it's like, oh yeah, like Chris Bryant's been interviewed even when he was with the Giants. He's like, oh yeah, I'll always be. Granted, Rizzo did also say this, but they all say they always have a place in their heart for the Cubs in Chicago.
They'll always call it home.
And that's great and all, but I mean, all right,
Doesn't pay his
let's move.
bills.
Let's move.
Yeah.
And I'm not even saying I'm not even guilting Cubs fans for holding those guys in a pedestal of some sort or always remembering. That's cool. I'll remember them for sure. But to still be fucking down on that, dude, all right, come on, guys, let's go. Come on, we're trying to fucking win again, dude.
That's fair.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know if you guys remember the 05 team or how that team disassembled for the Sox. But was there anything even close to that?
Well, not really,
They
because
just stripped for parts right after.
well, and it's also different because you guys had that. Those guys came up together.
Yeah.
Like they were all highly touted, and they all came up, and they won. They came up and they started competing, and then they were somewhat competitive up until last year. Whereas with the 05 White Sox, it was everybody says it. It's lightning in a bottle kind of moment where it was almost random. It was almost you don't want to say luck, right? But because like Rick said, the immediate offseason after, Rowan got traded for Tommy. And then just over the years, guys just kind of...
And that was a great trade. Looking back at it now. Tommy was pretty solid for years after that.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. But that was a different philosophy from a general manager. It was Kenny Williams, who was a gunslinger in free agency. And he wasn't about let's build a consistent winner. He was about, let's win this year.
Yeah.
Every year, which is tough to do. But,
yeah,
lightning struck. And he built a really good team. And I remember when he traded Carlos Lee for Scott Podsednik, everyone was like, what the hell are you doing? But, he needed elite speed, and he got it, and it worked out pretty freaking well. Anyway, let's fast forward a few years to the 2022 Chicago White Sox, who had themselves another week.
I don't even know how they keep topping it.
I tweeted it too, and Rick, I'm sure every White Sox fan feels the same way. You tell yourself as a fan, we're at the bottom. We said we were at the bottom a month ago when we recorded.
Yeah.
And somehow, some way, every day it gets worse.
Yeah.
It gets lower. We're beneath the fucking sea zone or whatever it's called, sea level. We're below sea level right now.
I've never seen anything like it in my whole life. It's really crazy. Really, really crazy.
It's classic that it's happening to us. But every single player, with the exception of two guys, has regressed. Everybody.
You're right. It's been, you can classify it as, you said every day, right?
Yeah.
So I guess I was going to say week, but you're right. Every day is worse than the one before. It reminds me of this.
So I was sitting in my cubicle today, and I realized ever since I started working, every single day of my life has been worse than the day before it. So that means that every single day that you see me, that's on the worst day of my life.
What about today? Is today the worst day of your life?
Yeah.
Wow, that's messed up.
Classic clip from Office Space. He's talking to his therapist there. But yeah, I was gonna come in with that same take that every week has been worse than the one before it. So, which leads me to believe, and I think we have also believed at some point during this season, that it can't get worse than this. So it's gonna get better
I
tomorrow.
don't know if that's gonna happen. Look, the good news.
It can't get worse than this.
It can. It really can. It happened today. Jake Berger
That's what I'm
left the
saying.
game.
Now, as
Oh,
of
from
this very
moment,
hour.
It can. It literally can, unfortunately. And it probably will. So prepare yourself. Brace up, Sox fans. But the good news, there's two ways to look at it.
Okay.
Right. And there is a positive, I think.
Yeah.
At least statistically. The White Sox, from like 2 days ago till the rest of the year, on paper, have the second easiest schedule in the leagues behind the Cardinals. The Cardinals have the easiest on paper by winning percentage. And the Twins is like the complete opposite.
Yeah.
The Twins are going to have one of the harder schedules in the league for the remainder of the season, which is good because it's good in the sense of whatever your own personal goals are for the White Sox that would satisfy you as a fan. Because if your goal is for the White Sox to make the playoffs or hopefully get a wild card spot, whatever that goal may be, it's a possibility on paper. Now the downside is something always happens. Something has happened like every other day, every week, every day, whatever that's negative that has impacted the White Sox in a bad way, and there's like seemingly no end in sight.
Yeah. So let's recap this week that was in White Sox baseball. Started with a tough series against the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Yes.
And you fast forward to 3 games, and
It was a promising start.
what it was they could have won all 3 of those games.
Yeah.
And they lost 2 of them. Whether it be, and the thing is, we saw this coming. I mean, because we're pessimists and we see the bad in everything right at this point. We were saying the White Sox offense is going to start clicking. And whenever that happens, the pitching is just going to shit the bed.
Yeah.
It's just going to flip-flop because up to this point, the White Sox pitching has been phenomenal. They literally called Johnny Cueto off his couch, off the street, and he's been like our most consistent pitcher. It's been great, the pitching. And now the White Sox start scoring some runs, and I think they scored like 40-something runs in the last 4 games. I think averaging around 8 runs per game. And Dylan Cease gives up like 4 runs. Lucas Giolito gives up a 5-run lead. These guys that have been pitching great start shitting the bed. And then, I don't know when this happened, but the bullpen just, everyone is exhausted.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah.
And except for Tanner Banks and Bennett Sousa, who are seeing 1 million innings.
Every day they're out. And the funny thing is the game Tuesday against the Dodgers, funny enough, I didn't see a single second of it because I was at my younger sister's high school graduation. But the White Sox won that game 4-0, and then there was no service in the graduation. So when I left, I was checking my Twitter and everything, and the White Sox Twitter was like ecstatic. Everybody was saying like this is probably the best win of the year.
Yeah.
The teams looked awesome. All three faces looked good. Defense was good. Pitching was good, and the offense scored runs. And then after that, everything just kind of fell off the rails.
Yeah. And it started. I mean, it doesn't start and end. I was going to use that phrase, but it's not true. But a big part of it is Tony La Russa.
Oh, yeah.
And just the bullpen management and
Not starting Vaughn that one game.
yeah, not
Period.
starting Vaughn and
That
then
was wild.
putting who did he put to lead off? That was
Leury Garcia,
Leury
that Wednesday
Garcia
game.
for no reason. And you try it, and I try to think that managerial moves don't really make a difference, but man, do they make a difference. When on Thursday they play the Texas Rangers, and they're within striking distance. They're only down by a run or 2.
And we were up 5-0 at one point, by the way.
Yeah, right. And I think that's
That was a Giolito game.
the Giolito game. Okay. There's a man on first base, and oh wait, was this the Dodgers still? This is still a Dodgers
It was
game.
a Dodgers game.
Man on first base. This is unbelievable.
That was But
Unbelievable.
It was Freddie Freeman on first.
Freddie Freeman on first.
Trey Turner to bat.
There's a lefty on the mound, Bennett Souza, of course. He throws a wild pitch in the dirt. Ball gets away. Freddie Freeman takes his base at second.
And the 0-2 count.
So now it is a 1-2 count. The guy at the plate, Trey Turner, who's an unbelievable hitter, is down 2 strikes. The league average when you have 2 strikes is like 1 something. You know, it's bad because the pitcher has all the advantage at this point. Tony La Russa calls for an intentional walk and resets the count.
That's a bad idea.
So Trey Turner goes to first. No one can believe it. Danny Mendick and Freddie Freeman are confused as hell.
The booth is confused.
The booth is confused.
Both
Call
of
it
the
out.
booths.
Yeah, I mean, on the broadcast, you hear one of the fans through the mics that picked it up, the field mics, say, "Tony, what are you doing? He had 2 strikes."
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers broadcast, or was it the Sox broadcast? Like they're like that fan, has some good questions.
Yeah. And then just to stamp it, put the exclamation mark on it. Max Muncy hits a 3-run home run to put the game out of reach. And that is just
Unacceptable.
it's a fireable offense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, to be so dogmatic about your lefty-lefty matchup,
He's so hung up on that thing.
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it.
Either.
Like,
Yeah.
we joked about it last week. Just last week on this podcast, we joked about how like it could be Barry Bonds, but if the platoon advantage is the other way, he's gonna pinch hit for him. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Very.
and like you said, it like put the game out of reach at that point, and it sucks because the inning before that, the Dodgers had put up 6 unearned runs off of
That's right.
a couple of defensive miscues. They put up 6 unearned runs to take the lead back 6-5 after the White Sox were up 5-0. So at that point, it's a 6-5 game. So it's like, all right, whatever. Well, we're scoring some runs today. Bullpen game now. Whatever. Let's see what happens. And that like completely, whatever like energy or momentum was there, was just completely
Demoralized.
yeah. Everything was deflated. And Max Muncy was talking shit on his way to the dugout. Like,
That
he
was
looks back,
great.
and the lip readers, he was like, "You're gonna walk him on a 1-2 count?
Turned around the dugout and fuck you, bitch.
Fuck you, bitch."
I like that.
Oh, I love that. That's
That was
awesome.
One of the
Directed at Tony La Russa.
And one of the things that I really didn't hear get talked about as much, obviously everybody talked about the lip rig there, but nobody really went in on why he said it. And if you think about it, how disrespectful is that?
Oh my God.
You're behind and a guy with a 1-2 count gets walked because that says your ass sucks so much that the guy in front of you has a 1-2 count. We're still gonna intentionally walk him because you suck that bad.
Yep.
Yeah, and one of my favorite things during this horrible White Sox season, underperforming, underachieving, all of the negatives that you can negative adjectives that you can use to describe the White Sox season, has been sticking around for the post-game White Sox show on NBC Sports because it's funny because Chuck is a fan as well, so like like the losses hurt him or whatever.
Yeah.
Granted, he's very optimistic. But they had Scott Podsednik filling in for Ozzy that day, and that's one of the points that Scott Podsednik brought up was think about how Max Muncy feels.
Yeah.
Because Garfien brought up the human element of it, but from Sosa's side, like if you're the pitcher, you're like,
That
damn,
too,
like
yeah.
you don't think I can get this last strike? Like what the
Yeah.
hell? I can throw 4 or 3 consecutive balls to see if he swings at something.
Right.
And then Podsednik was like, yeah, and think if you're Muncy, like you just said, like you're feeling disrespected, like what the hell? Like
Yeah. Oh, he
gonna
was
walk a
pissed
guy?
off.
Yeah.
He yelled at Tony Russa, looked into the dugout. Not one of those looking away, I'm swearing at you. He looked into the White Sox dugout and said, "Fuck you, bitch."
Love it. I
And
love that
then
clip.
after the game, they asked Max Muncy about it, and he said, "Yeah, well, I don't think it's a good idea to walk anybody with 2 strikes. Like,
Yeah.
that."
Yeah. And the funny thing, talking about post game, was obviously the question was, and the White Sox kind of made a bit of a run back. That the final score line was 11-9. Funny enough, we lost by 2 runs. What do those 3 runs have been or have meant?
Yep.
But the Tony press conference, it was like, this is going to be must-see because obviously he's going to get questioned about it. And sure enough, they did show it on the broadcast. And it was just like classic Tony fashion where he was just like very defensive, very hostile. Like
He couldn't believe that they asked him
Smug.
about it.
Yeah, very smug. Like he's a Hall of Famer baseball person brother guy. So that in and of itself was funny. But what I thought was funny was that like a couple minutes afterwards, they showed Dave Roberts and just the difference in just
Demeanor?
the demeanor. Just you could understand him, the energy, the cognitive, like. He's all there, you know. Like he's a young guy. He's not a 78-year-old man. Is like a stark difference, which is it's hilarious.
What you guys question about? The 1-2, 1-2, 0-2? He's good at 1-2. He's good at like, dude. What
And
the
then
fuck are you even saying right now?
Dave Roberts with his well-spoken ass just response.
Yeah. Yeah, it was Tony La Russa just really couldn't understand how anyone would even question his move. And it has happened like never in baseball.
Yeah.
How do you think that is not a questionable thing?
Yeah, and I like that he like questioned the stats. Obviously, I think it was Scott Mergen who asked. Obviously, he's not gonna know the stats of in baseball history, guys who have a 1-2 count, yada yada. They're hitting this off of that. But he's going. I don't know. It's just that very old school, like we said. Like he's just gonna play the splits. He's gonna play the lefty matchup. And he's just gonna get out of his. He's gonna get in his own way. He's gonna go with that classic gut feeling. Fuck whatever the numbers say. Because even if he has those numbers in front of him, he probably and I believe when he said that was an easy choice for him and he would do it again. That he would do it again.
He would do it. 100%.
Yeah, of course.
I have no doubt in my mind.
Yeah. And shout out to Ben Clemens of Fangraphs who wrote about it. And it has happened. It happened twice last year. It happened with Mike Trout, and it happened with another very great hitter, right? They got walked. It was on the Dodgers as well, actually. They walked, I think it was, might have been Mookie Betts. I don't know, but it was a very great hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And in both cases, the next hitter hit a grand slam.
Oh.
And then the next hitter in the other case was like a base clearing double. So out of the 3 times it's happened, it has worked horribly. There has to be like, I don't know, man. But
And the thing is that, like Oscar mentioned the stats, Muncie's like a reverse splits guy.
yeah,
He's better against lefties.
Yeah, for this season, he's struggled against lefties. He just struggled all year in general. But yeah, for his career, he slugs higher against lefties than he does righties.
Which is like, that explanation is wrong there anyway.
And just even La Russa's, I mean, we could go on for fucking hours about this, but even just going back to some of his like decisions, like for example, the Yankees series earlier in the year where he had a lefty warming up, and could have put him in versus Rizzo, but kept the righty in and then kept the righty in as well versus or then he brought the lefty in versus Giancarlo, and sure enough ended up homering.
Right.
And I don't know. It's just not the guy. He's just not the guy.
He's not the guy.
Yeah.
Fired Tony Chan started.
yeah, which we'll play in a little second here. But I did want to go back to when you were talking about the post game show and the broadcast, and Jim Margulis brought up this point from Sox Machine, and I think it is very interesting. In years prior, the state media, Comcast Sportsnet, they were very soft on the manager, the general manager, whatever it was,
Literally propaganda.
propaganda machine. And now this year, they have like let it loose, kind of.
Well, Chuck,
And there's
sorry.
definitely no reining in Ozzie Guillen, right? That's Ozzie. But the other guys like Chuck, like Jason Benetti, like Steve Stone, those guys, they're just letting it like.
Yeah.
Here's the broadcast we were talking about, which was very.
Now, wait a second.
They're going to intentionally walk him.
On 1 and 2,
Yep.
can you explain that to me?
I would think you don't want Turner to do any more damage, and you want to take advantage of the lefty-lefty.
Typically, at 2 strikes, the league batting average is quite low.
Oh, yeah. It is that.
When was the last time you saw somebody intentionally walked on 1 and 2?
Doesn't happen often.
Jeez. Perfect timing, that guy.
Perfect timing, yeah.
Yeah. And Steve Stone, even like off the air, somebody like tweeted at him, or they just tweeted like, "Oh, I would have loved to hear the conversation between Benetti and Stone." just between the innings, like during the dead air. And he tweeted, kind of paraphrasing here because I can't find the tweet, but it was like pretty much what you can imagine.
Yeah. Exactly what you'd think it would be, something like that.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, sure enough, we got these chants. And like the broadcast let it eat, you know? They didn't talk over it. And they just...
It went viral.
Yeah, so...
Then the Rangers added 1 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and now 2 here in the 10th. And they have a lead late.
That's loud, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's loud. And I, like you said, I love that the broadcast, that dead air, and then the actual TV broadcast itself, like panned in Antonio, like they were just showing La Russa in the dugout.
Man.
And that was a Saturday game against the Rangers. But it was funny because the day before we were watching the game, and we like called it that Liam Hendricks was used in a 5-run game on a win versus the Rangers on Friday. And we were just joking around like, all right, well, now he's not available till next week, yada, yada, just laughing around. And that ended up being the actual case. In close games, we didn't see Liam Hendricks once this weekend. And he has, like, arm soreness now. So he's also hurt.
Yeah.
And not available.
Not available. He didn't pitch today either.
He didn't pitch today, no. I don't know. I
And
don't know where we
then
go from here.
In that Lucas Giolito game, something's up with Giolito. I don't know if he's still lingering some illness or something, but he gets to 80 pitches and he kind of just breaks down a little bit. And another thing that is a Tony La Russa staple is he cares a lot about the win and the save for these pitcher stats. And if your pitcher is at 105 pitches, but he needs one more out to get to 6 innings and qualify for the win, he's going to leave him out there. And he did that with Dylan Cease, and he did that with Lucas Giolito, and in both cases, it failed, and the team lost the lead. And there have been situations where, hey, it's the 8th inning, and the heart of the order is coming up. Bring in Liam Hendricks, back-to-back reliever of the year. No,
it's not the name.
He won't get the save. Let's bring in Bennett Sousa instead.
Yeah, well, this was the pitcher selection on that Saturday game that sparked those chants. It was Jolito went five innings. Then we went to Kyle Crick, Bennett Sousa, Jimmy Lambert, who was literally called up that day, Matt Foster, and Jose Ruiz. We have the most expensive bullpen in the league, by the way.
And none of those guys saw.
None of those guys were used either, or for that game, which was a close game up until the 10th inning, in which a 4 spot was given up by Jose Ruiz.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, by Matt Foster.
That was Saturday. What the hell happened Sunday?
There was a Michael Kopech.
Oh,
guy
right.
didn't tear his ACL and needed an amputation on the spot.
I was at that game. I see the pitch. He wobbles, and then training staff comes out. And my first reaction was laughter. I was just like, this is hilarious.
After like 8 pitches, by the way.
After like 8 pitches, first inning, it's hilarious. It's funny. And then he seems to be like staying in the game. And it's like, all right, he's going to throw a pitch. He goes to throw a pitch, and he like almost falls over. Couldn't put any weight on his knee. Shit. And
slams the ball.
He slams the ball on the ground. You almost never see that. And he leaves the game.
A guy that has had like superb last 3 starts, probably, right?
Yeah,
I mean, superb year.
He's
right
like
there.
top 3 in American League ERA. Is that right still? If
be
not,
so.
he's close.
Yeah, he's been really, really good this year.
It's been the ace of the staff all year.
Yeah, and that happens. And was it the day before where Yasmani Grandal?
Oh yeah,
he went like 10 for 17.
What the fuck, dude?
He's starting
He's
to hit the
finally
ball.
hot.
Finally hot. He gets like his 3rd hit of the game. When he gets to first base, he like limps, pulled out of the game.
Hamstring.
He had back spasms. It looked like a hamstring. He was grabbing at the hamstring.
I think it was, no?
He was grabbing at it. It looked like it, but today they said he's on the
okay,
IL for back spasms.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, one guy comes back from the IL, another one goes on it. And it's weird that it's always the hottest guy.
Yeah.
Like today, Jake Berger, who's been unbelievable,
When I saw that, I was like, what?
he got hit in the hand.
Today. I don't know. I mean, if you just look at the past few days, like you said, Yasmani, Kopech, Berger.
Berger, again, like Rick said, Berger, who's been on a tear
Yeah.
this week or
He's
2
been,
weeks.
he's
now.
been our best hitter the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. He's like 8 home runs. He had a 7-game extra base hit streak. Insane. There's a funny tweet from Casey Boguslaw who said, it's very true, right? And I don't know how it works out, but like every White Sox player is like made of toothpicks, except for Leo Garcia, who's like made of solid oak.
Yeah, it's never the bad players who are going to get hurt. That's just not going to happen. It's always going to be the good players, the players who are hot. And I don't know. Like you said, at this point, it's just funny. It's impressive.
Very.
Honestly, it's impressive to see who's going to be hurt next.
Yeah.
Because it's going to happen. Somebody, without a doubt in my mind, we're going to have like a handful of more injuries from here to the end of the year.
Oh my God,
and they're all going to be a main guy. That's like, I wish I could put money on that. So I could put like $100. And even then, the odds would be like minus 500. Because it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Kelly has been on the IL like all season. He pitched like a handful of times over the course of a week, and very promptly went back. And allegedly, he's almost ready. Gonna be back soon. Eloy was starting to rehab, and he tweaked something.
Setback.
So a setback. So they had to put him back, or they had to not play him because it resets the 21 days that you're allowed to be on a rehab assignment. So he's not gonna be back until sometime next week rehabbing again. So. It's just impressive.
Yeah.
It's impressive because I hope that at some point it does switch so that at least this season is fun at some point, because it has not been that this year.
No. We've had, like, I don't know, 5 fun days in White Sox season.
I feel like that's a little bit of a stretch, possibly. Again, I'm not even trolling.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It hasn't been fun. That's for sure. And that's disappointing, you know? Like, even like my consumption of baseball in general has gone down because I don't want to see it.
Right, yeah, no, I know, I understand.
Yeah. But yeah, like Oscar said, I don't even want to say it. Like, they're going to bounce back, but who cares? We still have Tony La Russa as a manager. Shout out our boy Alex Nava, who asked, what does success for this season look like now?
Yeah,
for White Sox?
I know.
I've been thinking about this a lot over the past like couple of weeks. And I was literally thinking about it earlier today. Going into the season, I would have been, for me, obviously, whatever, you want to win a World Series at the end of the day, yada, yada.
Right.
For me personally, I would have been happy with a close ALCS appearance. Like, you're in the ALCS, if you don't win, but it's a close series, close games, maybe 7-game series, yada, yada, whatever, I'd be like, all right, there's progress. We're like improving. There's progress in terms of getting a deep playoff run, getting these young guys experience, yada, yada. Right now, I would consider the season a success if we like sneak into the wild card. And even then, I don't know if that's a good thing in the long term.
Right.
In terms of, we made it into the playoffs and Jerry just keeping it same old, and we stick with La Russa until the day he literally dies.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying I wish that, but that's just what would happen. This is his position until if we make the playoffs. This is his position until whenever this window closes.
I don't think La Russa's going anywhere.
No, I don't
matter
think
what.
anyone does.
No, I think if we miss the playoffs, there'll be some changes. Whether that's Tony La Russa or I don't know what the hell happens, but there's no way in hell that Jerry Reinsdorf is going to be happy having the 5th highest payroll in baseball and missing the playoffs. There's just no way.
I don't know if he cares.
And literally, no, I think he would, because I think a lot of fans would probably stop going to games, dead ass. I think a lot of people, and myself, if we miss the playoffs
But
and we
here's the thing,
keep
though.
Tony, I'm not renewing my season tickets.
No, me either. But the thing is, for 10, 15 years, the White Sox had very low attendance. They didn't care.
Because they weren't a competitive team and they didn't have a high payroll.
Yeah.
I think the fact that there's so much money on the books, at least for fucking our poverty-ass franchises standards, it'll hurt the pockets because not as many people are going to renew tickets or buy all these dumbass plans.
Yeah, we'll see.
And they're going to want to up the prices, and I'm not going to pay fucking $1,200 for a fucking plan to go see not fun baseball.
Right.
I'm just not going to do that. And I think they'll feel that. And I think a lot of people will probably feel the same way. Obviously, you're still going to get those fucking fans that are like, oh, whatever, I'm going to go no matter what. You stick by your team, yada, yada. But for long-term success, if we miss the playoffs and that happens, I'll be happy. If we miss the playoffs and that means that Tony is gone, I'll be happy.
Oh, yeah. For
Dead
sure.
It'll be worth it, in my opinion.
I'm a little different. Before the season, I was all in on the World Series. I thought this was the year the White Sox should win the World Series. And now, a season is what I answered Alex Nava when he asked me was, the season is a success if they fire Tony La Russa. Like, you know, where they end up in terms of standing or playoffs is secondary. Get rid of this guy who's holding the team back, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, because this is bad now in terms of fans fucking chanting all this bullshit. As far as, like, fire Tony with these bad losses, think about if we're, like, in August and we're, like, 10 games back of first.
Yeah.
Attendance is going to be low as hell, and whatever fans are there, when this happens, that's what you're going to get.
Yeah, so I guess let's look at the other side of it. If they, you know, they go on a 15-game winning streak.
If that happens, I'll record fucking naked on the pod.
Oh shit! I don't wanna see that.
A 15-game winning streak, you know, they end up in first place because the Twins are finally playing teams that are good. You know, where are you then?
Well, if we're in first,
Yeah, after the team is ripping off, like, they win every series from here on out.
I don't know because I legitimately cannot even picture that happening.
Yeah.
Like, it all depends on winning cures everything, obviously, because the team on paper we thought had enough talent to even just whatever the fuck Tony does. Like, we'll have a good offense. Our bullpen on paper was supposed to be one of the better ones in the league, and we have a pretty good starting rotation. That gives you a chance. But that's just not happening right now. Yeah. We have like 2 good hitters on the team. We win a game or 2 against a bad team, and then back to the same old.
Yeah.
So I don't even know. Well, when we'll get there, if we get there, which I don't think will happen, but hopefully we do get there, then we'll see. But I legitimately cannot even imagine that scenario. Where I can't even picture us winning 3 games, let alone fucking 15.
Right.
I'm trying to picture how the Sox could obviously turn around, win the division, but maybe get to the ALCS, right? Everybody, there is a shit ton of ifs.
Have to be a full 180.
But one of the biggest ones, I feel like, has to be Moncada. He has to be serviceable in some way.
Yeah.
He's like really bad.
Really, really, really bad.
Like he shouldn't be playing.
Offensively.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, he's a good defender, but he like Berger, like if everybody comes back and you guys are scattering to put guys at places, Berger's going to play third. That's how bad Moncada's been.
Well, that's how you can say that about a lot of guys. You can say that about more than half the team.
Yeah.
Everybody is bad. Everybody with the exception of Tim Anderson and Andrew Vaughn.
But Pito's been playing a lot better
now.
Right, yeah, I'm saying. But, like, if he keeps playing like this and if Yasmani keeps, playing like been playing, even Pollock has been hitting the ball a lot more. Luis Barber has been spraying the ball around. Maybe not for power, but
for the last, 3 weeks.
But he's been spraying it a little bit more recently. But Moncada he's just like a dud right now.
Yeah,
it kind of sucks.
Right now, as of this very day, right? There's no Tim Anderson, or I don't even want to go through the injuries, but of the guys in the lineup, A.J. Pollock, Jose Abreu, and Jake Berger are hitting well.
Yeah.
Everyone else.
I would put Andrew Vaughn in there too.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
He hasn't been bad.
He hasn't been bad. You're right. So it's 4 hitters. That's not horrible. Well, the thing is right now.
Right.
Because then you have
Leori, Josh Harrison.
That won't work.
Granted, Danny Mendick has also been okay.
Danny Mendick has been great, actually. He's actually been very,
he's cooled off a little bit, but he had like a 5-game multi-hit streak.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy's not delivering right now. Obviously, these guys are injured, but it's Eloy Jimenez, Tim Anderson, Yasmani Grandal, I already said Tim Anderson. Moncada. Yeah, that's the one that's...
And even Luis Robert has been cold the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, he hits everything into the ground.
The White Sox classic. That's the White Sox way.
And you know what it is about Luis Robert is every swing is defensive, and I don't understand it. Like, he's not trying to hurt the ball.
He's also very aggressive.
Very.
Yeah, he is. But he was awesome when he was aggressive last year. Like, that hasn't changed. He's always been aggressive. But what has changed is I feel like every swing he's trying to fight something off. And I don't understand it. Like, he's 0-0 in the count, and he's swinging like he's 0-2. I don't know. It's very weird. It's very frustrating. But he had a better game today. I think he had 2 hits. But
yeah, we won 9-5 today.
I would love to see Luis just be like, I want to do damage to a ball, which is what he was doing before. I don't know. There's that, and then there's Moncada, who, he had a very, very lingering issue with his quad, and he's just recently said that it's not bothering him anymore. So we'll see about that. Yeah. Aside from that, they need Giolito and Dylan Cease to be Giolito and Dylan Cease. That's what it is, dude. Is all these guys just need to be themselves.
Yeah, well, we talked about this like a week or two ago. It's just we don't even need these guys to like be hot. We just need them to go back to their career average.
Yeah, that's it.
They're all, not all, obviously. There's a couple, like you said, there's a couple of guys who've been hot, carrying the offense the past few weeks, but half or more than half of the lineup has, they're all auto outs. They're all auto outs. And you just can't, you cannot expect to be a contending team and have that be the case.
Yeah. Speaking of Tim Anderson, he was also in the news very recently. And we can't even get into it right now because all the details are going to come out tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. It's all alleged, right? Obviously, right now.
It's all alleged. It's all rumors, even though they look very credible. But the rumors on the streets right now, on the Instagram streets, are that Tim Anderson is going to have another baby.
Yeah.
Which is great news.
Yeah, hooray.
On its own. The detail, though, is that it is with a woman outside of his marriage.
Fuck.
And this other woman was very excited to announce it.
She was happy. He was happy.
If it's
He
true,
looked happy.
No, I don't. That has to be an old video.
Right.
There's no way that's like recent. There's palm trees in the background. He's literally with the team right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
That has to be from whenever the fuck they fling together, allegedly.
Man, what the balls to pull that
On this lady.
Woo!
Jeez.
The ball on that lady?
Yeah.
Clearly doesn't give up.
Well, she posted a photo of Tupac,
Yeah.
the rapper,
Uh-huh.
not the wrestler. Tupac, the rapper, just like smiling after that.
What is the significance of that?
I don't know. It just seemed very trolly.
Very
Okay.
trolly.
Okay.
And
Like-
then also,
like sticking it up to the actual family, trolly.
and then
Damn.
and then there was also like just a black photo with just writing saying "LOL, thank you everyone," for like the congratulations.
Oh, okay.
And then she has a number 7 tattooed in between her boobs.
Oh, what the fuck!
Yeah.
I didn't see that one. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's tough. And I will say that has potential to really fuck up Tim Anderson's game.
See, that's why I disagree.
That's what I said.
do.
That's what I said. I said from the
Potential.
human element standpoint,
yes,
if it
dude.
causes a divorce and then it affects him mentally and then it affects him
100%.
on the field.
Yeah, I mean, it's
100%.
possible, but
It's possible.
He's gonna go to the podium and he's gonna be getting ass every single day.
no.
Yeah.
Why would
gonna
they
be
ask him
what?
about his personal life?
What do you mean?
Why would they ask him about his personal life?
Why
What
wouldn't
what
they?
would they ask
I don't
him?
think the B reporters would ask that. Maybe. Nah, I don't even see them asking.
Yeah,
I don't
what
know
the hell
how
would
they
they
would
ask?
ask that.
Yeah, like comment on this. What's you know?
No.
But they're not gossip reporters. I don't think that would bode well with the team.
No,
Like,
maybe
you'll lose
TMZ. TMZ definitely would, but not the baseball reporters.
Fucking
I mean,
Fagan of the Athletic is not gonna ask.
No.
What
no.
about your baby mama?
Granted, and I'm gonna say this name, but I'm not comparing them this way.
Okay.
Addison Russell would be getting spotted at what's that bar called? Something Blonde that
Yeah.
doesn't exist anymore.
Bottled blondes.
he would be out on day games and shit like that, and and just be partying it up before any of the other allegations that are clearly fucked up. And he would get asked all the questions. Everybody would ask him like, "Hey, what the fuck is going on? Like, you guys, what are you doing?" He's like, "Oh, I'm just living my life."
But wasn't he like clubbing like the day before, like the night of games and shit?
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm saying at the end of the day, that's his personal life, and people would still like trying to pry.
I feel like that's a less serious. I don't know. I just cannot see any of the beat reporters asking Tim Anderson about his any like a strange love fling.
No, there's no way. Like, and then the thing is, here's the other thing too. Is this almost the exact scenario happened with Michael Kopech, where he was with his.
He wasn't caught cheating though. They just
no, he wasn't caught cheating, but they had a baby, and then they got divorced right after the baby.
While she was pregnant.
While she was pregnant, and then now he has another baby, and I mean, obviously,
Tim Anderson deleted his Instagram.
He did not delete his Instagram.
I saw that those tweets going around too. You can't find them because his name is Seven.
Okay. I just saw the tweets. I was like, damn, he
I
deleted Instagram.
I saw those tweets too, and I was like, no shot, because then that's worse.
Yeah.
But no, I was like, as soon as I saw those tweets, I was like, they probably did not type in 7.
Yeah.
Getting to my original take.
Yeah.
This definitely has potential to like fuck his game up a little.
It has potential, but and I
just don't see how it's gonna change the way he sees a fastball.
Because he has some family issues, dude.
I know, but once you're in the box, he's not like. I mean,
granted, they're very different situations, and I don't mean this in any sort of negative connotation or whatever. Hopefully, I don't get clowned, and I'm not even really comparing them. But in his breakout year, when he was like, he literally won the batting championship. That during the season, his literal best friend got killed.
Yeah,
that's different.
So, but I'm talking about in terms of just like the mental side of it, to still be able to go out and be a pro in that sense while you do have stuff on in the background.
I feel like that sort of tragedy, because they're both tragedies, right? That sort of tragedy, you could almost spin zone it for your benefit.
No, for sure. Like you're playing
whereas
for your...
you get caught cheating, I don't know if there's a spin zone to benefit out of that.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't know what their love life is or how his marriage is. So obviously,
dude,
we can't really comment on that. So I don't know. It all depends on what happens at home for him.
Exactly. Yeah, of course, right. And it's it's his personal life, and the fact that we're talking about it is a little weird, but
for sure,
it's still
it's a story.
It's a story, and the thing that kind of like got me a little bit like took me aback was that his wife had to post like 18 hours right before this chick did all this.
Yeah.
So it's like his two worlds collided in like a span of like 15 hours.
Yeah, I mean, dudes and girls are unfaithful to their partners, and even more so, he's not the first athlete that this happens to, and it definitely will not be the last. It's just one of those entrapments. So.
It's the social media aspect about it. Because if we would have read it on an article and be like, fuck.
True.
But the way that she did it, the trolley way that she did it, is like drama. It's like
true.
Oh,
and that's what she wanted.
Of course,
100%. She's and she posted a video of her like dancing, while pregnant, like on her story, like a day. I don't know.
This story has legs on it. Because of her. Because of her.
100% the story has legs on it. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know.
Like she would go on TMZ and just like.
Oh right, she loves it.
And then like the story's gonna keep on for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get a reality TV show or
right,
some shit. 100%.
This is a shout out to this segment was brought to you by our loyal listener, Bernie. Where you can find him on Twitter at Fancy Pants Bernie, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Fancy Pants Bernie. Okay. Days of our socks.
He said that he would listen to a baseball gossip podcast.
I would too.
And this is our attempt to bring him a little closer to that. So maybe we'll have a segment.
I just wish nothing but the best and hopefully healing for all the parties involved.
Yeah. And
I mean, I don't know. Does he have to address it? I mean, he doesn't.
Nah, I don't know. Not like an interview-wise, I don't think.
No,
I don't
but
know.
like
I really don't know. What do you think?
Look out for TMZ, right? TMZ is going to try and get a gotcha moment with him coming out of the airport in Charlotte or something.
With Tony La Russa.
But no, I don't think any reporter or any beat reporter would ask him.
Right.
But yeah, I mean.
But somebody's gonna sneak into one of those podiums and just maul
Whoever
him.
that is gonna probably get their credential removed.
I don't know.
I don't know how that works.
I don't know. And if he does get asked something like that, he'd probably just be like, "I'm here to talk about baseball" or something.
Right.
Yeah, they have PR teams that train them. I don't know. Hopefully, from a baseball and a fan standpoint, obviously you hope it doesn't affect his on-field play. Obviously, from a personal standpoint, it's a sad situation.
Mike in the chat says, first he said, how many people asked Ben Zobrist?
A lot.
Like baseball reporters? Though?
Yeah, no, maybe not. But he was in the fucking clubhouse being asked like about the divorce, and he just didn't want to talk about
All
it.
right. He says, Mike also says, if it's true, he'll put out a generic statement, which, we as sports fans are seasoned vets in those generic statements.
For sure.
Healing for my family, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Albert Pujols recently just divorced his very long-time wife, like 2 days after they announced she had, like, head cancer.
Oh, my God. Fucking Zach Davies.
Zach Davies, that's crazy.
Ghosted his wife. We should really open up this gossip section of the...
All right, well,
There's
no, I
plenty
mean,
of it.
obviously, Tim Anderson, whatever happens in his personal life is his own thing. The reason it's being brought up in this podcast is because it does have potential to somewhat affect his on the field play.
I agree.
potential is fair. Yeah.
For sure. I'm not saying it will. The guy's a stud, right? But if that girl keeps doing what I think she's gonna keep doing, then that's gonna be a story for the rest of the year.
He got caught in 1 million K. That's crazy.
He was fucking like,
yeah, he's doing little faces.
Yeah.
He's doing like little silly faces.
which makes me think like, come on, dude.
Yeah.
Damn. I don't know.
What do you?
I'm not gonna
I
judge
don't know.
another
I don't know.
man.
Maybe they're having trouble, and maybe they're not even together anymore. I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows?
all
Like I
speculation.
said,
This isn't even confirmed either.
all the details will come out precisely after I hit upload. For sure.
You'll know. Right now, as you're listening to this, you know more than we do at this present
That's a
moment.
very good point, possibly. Yeah, we are on a very, very hot streak of news breaking immediately after our podcast publishes.
I will say, the people that are like heartbroken on Twitter about this, you guys are weird as fuck.
Oh, about like the Tim Anderson.
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, dude. Who are you?
There's still people out there who look up to athletes as like role models.
Yeah.
And maybe we're jaded where that doesn't happen to us anymore, but
not
there's still a
kids.
pretty big population. Especially a guy like Tim Anderson, who like,
Stand-up
especially
dude. Yeah.
dude who's like very good on the field,
Right.
and also like awesome in the community,
Yeah.
and like,
Soft spoken, like he really doesn't,
but like the other like aspect of it is that he's like a very good like family man
Yeah.
up until this point, right? Allegedly, but all of his posts, family this and
All
wife
spaghetti
this and kids and that's the other little spice to it.
Yeah, but if you're like heartbroken about this, you're weird.
That's fair.
I think you could feel bummed out a little.
Yeah, for sure. Like
That's what they say. Never meet your Never
Yeah,
meet your
never meet your heroes.
Never meet your heroes. There you go.
Man.
Sad.
It
I'm gonna be heartbroken now. I'm gonna be tweeting.
it's just like
They're
it could have been any other player around the league. It could have been fucking Mike Trout. And I feel
That
like
would be crazy as fuck.
right. And I feel like the fact that it happened to the Sox and to Tim
I'm
Anderson,
not shocked.
the week that you guys have been having, it's like
It's planned. She
holy
did this shit on
shit.
purpose.
What is
Shout out to
happening
her.
right now?
This is a fucking. She planned this. She was like, "Let's wait till the White Sox are fucking
Let's wait
in
till
the,
he's almost back from the IL.
in the fucking gutters, and we'll drop this little op-ed on the gram and the story." I don't know. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this happened. I don't know how to word that. Am I surprised that this is happening with Tim Anderson? That it came out that he's cheating with his wife, obviously, allegedly. But am I shocked that something like this would happen to the White Sox this season? Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
You guys want to hear Lance Lynn's comments about? Oh, because also we didn't even get a chance to touch on this, but
Oh shit!
he got into it with Joe McEwing in the bench today. Yeah, it was a busy week for the White Sox.
We lost.
I don't know what he said yet, but let's see what he said.
Lance Lynn after his season debut tonight.
Well, how did it feel to be back, and how would you kind of size that one up?
It felt good to be back. It's, early on you're trying to feel some things out.
All right, come on, let's get to it.
Pretty soon, first pitch of the game. So, I figured they would. Been nice to make a little bit more of a quality pitch there. Then you start giving up some hits. That's part of it.
Should I fast forward?
So I was able to kind of turn the tide there and start making pitches, start doing what I'm capable of, and things started feeling about as good as they possibly could.
Why did it get better for you as it went along?
I think it's just trusting it, trusting how you feel, getting in the rhythm of the game, and actually knowing, that you feel good enough to just make the pitch and not worry about anything else. So that's part of the process here, especially when you get back up here.
What's the journey been like just to get back to this point?
It's long because there's time and where I can stay strong as the season goes on here.
You were fired up. You always are.
There you go.
You saw in the dugout, you and Joe. Were you able to share it all what that might have been about?
Yeah, he was trying to get me going. He kept telling me that filet is better than ribeye. I'm more of a ribeye and potatoes guy. He's a filet and Caesar salad. So I just told him he was wrong.
Good answer.
And then he went back to coaching third.
Thank you.
You've been doing this long enough to understand the difference between jumping from spring training to the start of the year.
Two things. I love and he went back to coaching third.
Yeah.
And
There's a little dig there.
Yeah, and two, I love that just as in general that players don't give a single fuck that interviews are being had and they just blast the music. I love that.
That is true. I kind of saw that coming.
I didn't mind that. That didn't come off to me as a bad thing.
Yeah, it just it happens.
It happens every single time, but I almost felt like it was a good thing.
Yeah,
I don't.
Could be, yeah.
For example, with the A's, I don't know if you guys saw that.
Mm-hmm.
That was great.
Who's the pitcher?
The pitcher? I'm
the
not
only
sure.
pitcher they have.
They have a double A squad.
Sean Manaea?
Yeah, he was going off in the dugout. Just
that was
motherfucking everything.
Montes or Manaea's with
the only pitcher they have.
Montes, Frankie Montes.
He was just yelling in the dugout like, "What the fuck?" And they went ahead and just ripped out a win.
Yeah, I didn't see what player it was, but I did see that. Yeah, he's yelling at everybody in the dugout.
It was Ramon Laureano.
That's who it was.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
He was that was
inspiring. I want that to happen to the Sox.
Yeah. That's how I took that as.
I want that to be, but within the fucking players or with dumbass LaRussa as he's dozing off, yell at his dumbass. Just something.
Just throw fucking
somebody clap in front of his face.
Dude.
Wake up.
But I didn't. I mean, it's a struggling team. People are gonna argue, right?
Yeah.
But you need that. You need that fucking oomph.
I liked, for example, last year in the Drew controversy when it happened, but when Machado and Tatis got into it in St. Louis.
All right.
You want the players to fucking. You don't want them just going through the motions. You want them to we're losing, we're bad right now, we're going through a rough stretch. We're trying to fucking win.
Yeah.
Have that passion.
I really like when they come up with these fake reasons why they got into it. Because we had the example from Francisco Lindor and Jeff McNeil last year, I think it was. Because they got into it, and then they went into the tunnel, and then they were fighting in there. And I don't know how the Mets had a camera, they was able to look in there. They asked them afterward, and they said they were fighting about whether an animal they saw was a raccoon or a squirrel or whatever it was. And they both had that story ready to go. And then now, I kind of expected that from Lance Lynn, where he was. What did he say?
They were discussing they like ribeye or
filet.
Yeah.
Hilariously enough, that's what I thought the Tommy Pham excuse for slapping Jack Peterson was going to be. Turns out that was real.
Yeah, turns out that was a real one. That's hilarious. Still story of the year, by the way.
Yeah, it will be very hard to top that.
Yeah. I agree with you, Ramiro. I think it was. I saw that one happen live, and at first I thought it. So what ended up happening was Lance Lynn induced a ground ball, and it would have been a routine play, but the shift was
The shift.
on, and went through the infield, and Lance Lynn reacted on the field, threw his arms up like, "What the fuck?" Right?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming because this is an old school thing, Joe McEwen said, "Hey, don't do that. Don't show up the infield, your players, your teammates on the field.
Yeah.
If you're upset about something, go to them on the side." Obviously, I'm interpreting here.
Yeah.
And then I feel like Lance Lynn would have been like,
Well, what the fuck?
go back to coach at third base to get out of my face.
Right.
I think I saw him mouth asshole at Joe McEwen. Who knows, right? But like you said, I think, let's get uncomfortable in there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good thing that he feels bad about giving up a run, Again, it's one of those things. It doesn't even reach the top 10 of lists that happened over the week for the Sox.
It doesn't.
That's probably good news, if anything,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Am I stupid or bold to say that this week will be better than last week?
When does that end for you? When does the week end for you?
Next time we record.
I'm going to have to disagree because we play the Astros this weekend.
Oh, my God.
We play those Astros at Minute Maid this weekend.
Well, that's just we can't win that even if we were doing good.
Well, that's why I'm saying I don't think it's going to be better.
Okay.
Oddly enough, the Sox play better away, or they have a better record.
Not against the Astros and not at Minute Maid.
Okay.
Yeah, but that is an interesting point. The White Sox are getting destroyed at home this year.
They're getting out-homered at home.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Until proven otherwise, my stand on this team is that it's toast.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not even. I didn't mean it like in a negative way or anything. I was more joking. But the other day when you're like, "Oh, the Twins lost today," I was like, "Brother, we're not even in second. We're in third."
Right.
So I'll start checking Twin scores once we're in second and behind them. I don't have any excitement for this team. For me, this season is kind of chalked until proven otherwise, until the team shows that they can win. And in a sense, that's a little relieving because whatever expectations I've had for the club are kind of just diminishing by the game. So we'll see. Hopefully, obviously, as a fan, I hope that they're able to turn it around, but they haven't been able to show anything that would show that they would be able to up until this point in the season. So
The Sox,
we'll see.
The Sox do have a couple of things going for them. It's not a lot, but it is a positive. You guys want to hear them. One of them is that there is more than 100 games left.
Yeah.
True.
The other one is that you guys play a lot of fucking games against the Twins and the division.
Yeah.
So
57.
there is a path for you guys to win the division still and make the playoffs. But again, I get it. You got to see it first. Man, get guys healthy.
That would be great.
That would be insane.
Like, what the hell, dude? That's crazy.
That's one of the things that shout out Frank. I'm not sure if he's still watching or not in the fantasy baseball or former fantasy baseball chat that we have. He was just like how are the Sox like that favorited of a team? He was saying like this is the most disappointing White Sox team he's ever seen. And my point was just like it would have been nice to just be healthy, to be somewhat healthy. And then just for guys to produce, obviously. It's been a disappointing year.
Yeah.
There's no other word than there's not a single White Sox fan that doesn't feel disappointed on the season.
No, for sure. And also, shout out to loyal listener Joester, who I'm pretty sure he was just trolling, but maybe he had a point in there where he was saying how the blame is on White Sox fans for having high expectations for this year. But there's no way it was just White Sox fans.
No, I thought they were.
Like, Vegas had them as the third
Yeah.
highest odds to win the championship.
If you're going to tell me here today that before the season started, you didn't have the Sox as a top 5 team, then you don't know ball.
There it is.
Seriously. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
they were stacked on paper. Obviously, everything's on paper before the season starts, and you got to do it on the field. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
But there was nothing to tell me that this was going to happen. And granted, you can't predict injuries, but, like, I didn't expect Moncada to be this bad. I didn't expect Yasmani to be this bad.
Everyone.
Right, exactly. Pollock to be this bad. Luis to be this bad.
Yeah.
But the injuries are clearly an issue. And another issue is the defense. And granted, because of the injuries, you guys got to mix match guys. But Pollock is not a good defender, and he's going to play every day.
He's had some back-to-back good catches out there, which should boost up his outs above average over there. But yeah, you're right. Like the defense is, we knew it was going to be an issue, and it has been an issue.
It just sucks that it hits a dead ass wall because of the Roosters there.
Yeah,
that sucks.
Like, and that's where I'm at in a sense where like there's definitely a way you can spin it into you getting a little bit excited about the team, but then for me personally, you remember Butler Roos as a manager, and it'll be fucking this is a dream scenario, right? Game 7 ALCS. You're up 6-5, 7th inning. Here comes Ben D'Souza, fucking with runners on second and third and no outs after just having pitched the last 7 games in a row, because there's a lefty at the plate.
Yeah,
and then at the post game after you lose in the ALCS, well, that's the game. It'll break your heart, and that's why you love it. And like one of those bullshit ass fucking answers.
Yeah, we were saving Hendricks for the 9th
for Game 4 of the World Series in case we were losing or some bullshit. There's no excitement to be had with La Russa at the helm, and I think it's shown. I think that the front office has, in a sense, stepped in. They did with the opener on Friday.
They did,
where Reynaldo Lopez was the opener for the White Sox, and then Davis Martin came out and pitched 5 strong innings against the Rangers. That game we ended up winning. And post game, Tony La Russa, he said he made it an emphasis to shout out the analytical department for suggesting the opener because it worked out and we won the game. And then even sorry to cut you off, even the lineups have actually been somewhat consistent, and the actual good players are at the front of the lineup. It's not Leury Garcia or Josh Harrison leading it off 1-2.
Yeah.
So I think the front office has somewhat stepped in and been like, hey, dude, that your little lineup bullshit, we're done with that.
Yeah.
These are the guys that are going to be the 1 through 6. After that, if you want to mess around, go for it.
Yeah.
But these are the top 6 guys that are going to be hitting 1 through 6 every day.
And that was immediately after his intentional walk bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Jeff Passan, I'm trying to get that right, tweeted about it, and he's the biggest baseball reporter in the world. Once you get to the national, limelight, then you get a little bit embarrassed. And then the front office says, all right, we let you try this for 60 games. Give us a chance. Do this. Start Ronaldo as the opener. And here's the lineup you're going to have for the next 5 days. And so far, 3 days in a row, we've had a pretty similar lineup, which is the first time all year.
And the funny thing is that the offense has scored. Going back to the Thursday game, the offense has scored 9 runs, 8 runs, 9 runs, 6 runs, and today 9 runs.
Yeah.
Funny enough, we've won only 2 of those games. But whatever.
That's amazing.
Shout out baseball. And the pitching staff.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, so the offense is starting to score, which is a great thing to see now. It's just a matter of if the pitching can hold it down, and if the bullpen can be not depleted and have to pitch in 1-run games every day.
And if Liam Hendricks can get healthy.
Yeah.
It's weird that they don't put anyone on the IL. That's another thing. Players are hurt, and they don't get placed on the injured list, and then we're short like 3 pitchers because they're hurt, but they're not on the injured list. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm going to hit a nerve here, but I couldn't help but to think that when Kopech went down, I was like, this team could really use Keuchel right now to eat fucking innings.
Well, it's not even the starters, dude. It's like Cueto's been great.
Yeah,
and we have...
I'm just talking about like an inning eater.
Yeah, I mean,
a body.
They have Lambert and they have Martin who should be doing that. The problem, here's the problem, where that logic falls apart a little bit, because I thought the same thing, obviously, is Dallas Keuchel didn't eat innings. He came in and pitched 2 1/3.
Good point.
And it would be like 6 runs.
Yeah.
And at that point, where you can't even just eat innings, you have no use.
Yeah.
Where is he at in his minor league assignment?
I was just thinking about that right now. I have no idea.
We're going to keep tabs on our boy.
Yeah. The Kopech news was
the first good thing of the season.
I was like, that's got to be like a Achilles or ACL or some shit. Just because. And then afterwards, when they tweeted that it was a knee issue, I was like, that's it. That's him for. If it's an ACL, he's out till 2024. Like he's out for this year and next year.
And what was it?
It was just he said he didn't say the medical term. He said he didn't know exactly what it is, but the trainers told him it was some sort of like fluid That
Fluid
guy behind his
buildup.
knee?
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
fluid buildup. So they were draining it, and then they're hopeful that he'll be able to start this Sunday.
Oh, that's good. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fucking great news for sure, because any major injury and any other major injury, and I don't know. I probably would stop watching Deadass. Like, I'd stop following. I'm not even trolling. I'll probably just like check the scores on my phone.
That's
And
what I
be
do.
like, oh, that's where I'll be at.
Yeah. All right, we got to finish this episode. We went a little long, but man, there's a lot to talk about. We're gonna stop recording tomorrow. I'm gonna be walking the dog, and I'm gonna be like, "Damn, we didn't even talk about this."
Yeah.
Or the news, the fucking TMZ exclusive 45-minute documentary about every single detail of the Tim Anderson case.
The way he banged her.
The literal sex tape is gonna release tomorrow.
And he's gonna be like talking smack about teammates in the sex tape. No, but yeah, you should expect a Notes app apology at some point, or a Notes app screenshot from his wife.
Yeah. I don't know.
Coming out very, very shortly. As soon as I hit publish, I'm gonna start hitting refresh on those pages. Expect that. We don't have definitive news on Jake Berger's hand yet, but they said it was just a hand bruise. I'll believe that when
A little 60-day IL trip.
when I see him back in the lineup. How are the Cubs doing?
They're tied now, but they're not good. Again, they play a weekend series against Atlanta after this Padres series, so expect one win this week.
Yeah, we have 2 more against Detroit, and then a 3-game series away at Houston, so that should be fun.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Hit it.
This is a true love story song, a triumphant glory song, with only one small caveat. This one hasn't happened yet. It's not the strongest narrative, but details aren't imperative. What matters is the way it ends, and they've got 16 mutual friends. He's got animal spirits, and he's got heartfelt lyrics. Put them together and you can hear it. Song everyone knows. Yes, he's got animal spirits, and he's got heartfelt lyrics. Put them together and you can hear it. The way the story goes. Now everyone seems unaware that these two are a destined pair, but I checked out their